Good evening, my fellow Exorcists, and welcome to the Lair of the Film Exorcist. Tonight, I will be reviewing Star Wars Bounty Hunter, the video game. When the leader of the Bando Gora cult, Kamari Vosa, became a threat to Palpatine's plans, he instructed Dooku, his apprentice, to eliminate her. He also charged Dooku with finding a suitable person to become the template for the future clone army. Dooku decided that he could accomplish both of these tasks by putting a bounty on Vosa, and he only invited the very best to take up the challenge. These included two Mandalorian bounty hunters, Jango Fett and Montross. Now, I know it's somewhat unusual for me to do a video game review because I've never done it before. We've never done video games on this channel except for like gameplays of Call of Duty Vanguard, or we did gameplays of Resident Evil 8 Village. So yeah, we've done gameplays, but we've never actually reviewed a video game because I have no clue what I'm doing when I'm talking about video game mechanics or backstage information like camera movements and other things like that. So, I mean, since this is my first one, go easy on me, guys, in the comment section, or try and help me get this out more so maybe I can do more video game reviews. But the reason why I'm doing Bounty Hunter is because I've seen a lot of people talk about it throughout the years, and most of the time it's like it's been pretty even. Like, most people like the game, most people find it a pain in the ass to play, but most of all they just enjoy it. I mean, there's full fat videos, there's G-Man Lives, and many others who essentially give this game high ratings. I mean, especially the guy who calls himself Full Fat Videos, who praises this game a lot, despite also seeing the many flaws that it has. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the story. You guys know I am a huge Star Wars fan. I can't tell you how many times I've listened to Star Wars timeline videos, anything by Meta Nerds, when they've done Star Wars videos on like the ships, or their really long video on Jango Fett's life and Boba Fett's life. And actually they're doing right now one on Obi-Wan's canon life. But yeah, I mean, I love the story. I love learning about Jango Fett. I love Jango Fett as a character, despite him only being in one movie. Honestly, the most well-known bounty hunter is actually his son, Boba Fett, who everyone, for a time, loved, and still technically loves, despite the horrible TV show that came out last year. Actually, I think that was this year. But my point is, I love his story. I love learning about it. I loved listening to the whole video about him and how he grew up, and who his mentor was, who his companions were, the rivalries he's had. And I'm saying this because, let's be honest, it's gonna be a really long time for me to ever review the comics, and if I don't, it's because they're comics and they're meant to be read for yourself. But my point is, I love Jango Fett as a character, and I love this story. I love the story of this game where we see him go after bounty after bounty. We watch him track down Kamari Vosa, while also having to compete with his rival, Montross, who is played by the same voice actor who does Mr. Krabs in SpongeBob. I mean, I love the characters. My favorite character in this game next to Django is actually Roz, who is essentially Watto, but a female, and she is a lot more caring for Django. Like, throughout the game, she's telling him that she wants better for him. She wants him to find love. She wants him to get out of the bounty hunting business, because if he doesn't, he'll end up getting killed sooner or later. Which, I mean, if you've seen Attack of the Clones, you know she's not wrong, and it does happen, despite her best efforts. And essentially, she is a lot more well-spoken than Watto, despite us only hearing about her in this video game. But yeah, she is a really nice character. You actually feel sorry for her when she does die in this game. When she's killed by Montross for helping Django. And the dialogue between her and Django is actually really fun to listen to. Plus, also, without her, we wouldn't have had Boba Fett, and we wouldn't have had the partnership between Zam Wesell and Jango Fett, which, this is actually a cool way for us to learn about also Zam Wesell's backstory, because she turns out to be, the reason why they partner up in episode 2 is because she helped him on this mission, and because she is a small-time bounty hunter who was trying to do the exact same thing as Jango Fett, hunt down Kamari Vosa and become the template of the clone army. She is not the best character in this game, but she does have her moments. Montross is a very fun villain that we actually first learned about in the Dark Horse comics for Jango Fett, because he used to work for Boba Fett until he broke away after Boba and his mentor, Jaster Mariel, dies. He refuses to follow Boba Fett and betrays the Mandalorians and leaves to go become a bounty hunter. And because Jango Fett gets the clan killed after Montross leaves by, funny enough, Count Dooku and the rest of the Jedi strike team, Montross blames Jango for everything, despite it not being his fault and not being the rest of the clan's fault that their employer betrayed them to the Death Watch. But yeah, this was a really fun way to find out Jango's storyline, find out why he created Boba Fett, how he became the template for the clone army, and how he met Zam Wesell, and how he gained Slave One, or as Disney wants to call it, the Fire Spray, which we find out why in this game, why it's the only one of its kind now. Because it turns out it was supposed to be a police vessel on Uvo 4, which is where one of the missions takes place, and Jango actually blows up the other prototypes. Now, I'm pretty sure I've been talking about the story a little too much, so let's move on to what I really don't like about the game, which would be, I hate the gameplay. Like, I hate the platforming. I do find it fun using the jetpack once in a while. I love using the guns, the flamethrower, the zip cord, all the weapons. But what I hate is the way you have to aim. Like, yeah, I get it's a third-person shooter. It's very similar to Devil May Cry with the way the camera moves and the way you have to fight in third person. And let's be honest, it didn't work in 2002 and it still doesn't work now. Like, I'm pretty sure there's still games out there that are trying to bring back the third person camera and it just does not work. Like, I am a first person shooter guy. I just can't get the hang of third person shooting. And I mean, let's face it, I tried playing this game when I first got it in, like, I think 2005, 2006 for the PlayStation 2 when I was really young, because this game obviously came out in 2002 when I was like 2 years old, so I didn't get to play it until after I got it on the PlayStation 2, along with games like Star Wars Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront, and Star Wars Clone Wars, the video game. This was, let's be honest, pretty low on my list at that age. Like, I could not beat this game no matter how many times I tried hunting down cheat codes or tried playing the missions. Be it I was a kid, a really young kid, but yeah, these missions were almost fucking impossible to figure out and to beat, because it feels like someone's constantly pushing the hard mode button on this. Like, I will admit I am one of those people that just plays the game to play it once on easy mode, and then rarely do I come back to a game. Here, I came back to it now because I never finished the game, and I came back thinking, I'm older. It's been a really long time since I've played it. It's on the PlayStation 5, so I figured, let's give it a try. Turns out, it's just as hard as it was years ago. Like, this is bullshit. The first chapter, where we play through, it's Roz's station, battle station, or, star platform, wherever the hell, we fight Miko. That was easy. Chapter 2, we go to Coruscant, and it is a pain in the ass. You don't know how many times I tried grabbing onto the wire after I flew my jetpack over to it, hovered the jetpack over to it, and when I go to grab it, Django will not grab onto it. Like, he'll either hop on top of it, or you get there, and he doesn't latch on, and then you're falling. Yeah, I get it, it's 2002, and this is supposed to be a remastered version of it, but remastered or not, I think you missed a bunch of bugs where you can get stuck through walls or your shots don't hit. Like, this game really knows how to piss you off with your weapons. On my third or fourth time having to redo the Senate level, so I skipped it because I unlocked all the missions and all the levels using cheat codes like always, and I decided to move on and go to Uvo 4, where we're supposed to capture this criminal from the prison, and so you can bring him to the Malastare. So I get there, and you're basically breaking them out of this Republic prison, and they've got melee characters with shock prods, and you've got guns, and now you've got these turrets that you have to worry about on the ceiling. Also, they have E-web turrets at the beginning of the game that you have to look out for. And let me tell you, the biggest pain is when you're trying to aim your flamethrower at these shock prod troopers, and the game will not let you aim right. Like, the aiming system is pretty much only built for the dual pistols, where if you're trying to use, like, I don't know, the semi-automatic guns, or the poison darts that you get, or the flamethrower, or the bombs, I mean the grenades, or the jetpack rockets. Yeah, these, the aim system does not work for those. So you pretty much have to pray that you do not get hit, or you don't get blown up by the grenades and the rockets, and you have to pray that your flamethrower will meet its target, which hopefully is the giant crowd of prison guards that are gathered around you, hitting you one at a time. Like, everybody complains that AI is so stupid in games today. Back then, AI was surprisingly really good. Like, nowadays, a lot of the times AI attacks you one at a time, or they attack you in certain waves. Here, this game turns the AI difficulty way up to the point that AI actually gather around you, crowd you, and destroy you. I mean, this literally reminds me of Resident Evil 4, when you have to defend whatever the hell her name is. I think her name is Sherry. When you have to defend her from all the zombie guards with shields. It's just really annoying, and it shows that the early 2000s were the era of, yeah, the AI are not stupid. I'm gonna be honest, it was Evo 4, where I finally decided to give up and go off and go play Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, which first time is actually a pretty easy game, and I will review that at another time, along with its sequel, Racer's Revenge. But the point is, this game kicks people's asses on a regular basis. Like, I know there are people that have beaten it, but this is the one game that aggravates me so much in the Star Wars universe that I have never beaten it at all. And I don't think I'm ever going to give it another chance. To be honest, I'd rather watch other people play this game and just watch the cutscenes for the information and the story instead of playing it myself, because this game kicked my ass so badly that I've grown tired of looking at it, and I've grown tired of trying to play it. I thought Devil May Cry 1 was annoying with its top-down camera and the way you attack enemies, and how difficult it appears to be near the end. That is nothing compared to this game. The mechanics are decent. I hate the bounty hunter mechanic because it annoyed me so much that they expect you to scan your enemies while they're shooting at you. And then, if you're lucky, you don't die before you wrap up your target and send them into the abyss, where you gain money for essentially sending them to Star Wars hell. that was a really bad mechanic, and I wish they'd fleshed it out a bit more, made it less stupid. But yeah, so obviously I love the story. Gameplay is decent, but it also annoys me so much that I refuse to play the game ever again. The bounty hunter idea was a great idea at the beginning, but the way they executed it was really bad, and it should have had more impact on your character in the game, making it a lot easier to play or get to the end of the game. Let's be honest, the only thing I really like about this was the story. Because this is literally, other than the comics and the books, this is all we've gotten of Jango Fett, and it's kinda sad. Because Disney keeps focusing only on the timeline between episode 3 and 4, or what's going on between 6 and 7. Because apparently they're so tired of prequels that we don't deserve more content for that, or we don't deserve anything before the prequels. Like, when they canonized everything, it kind of annoyed me so much that, I mean, I love the canon content, most of it, but I just wish there were things that they kept from Legends. Either way, I'm giving this a 5 out of 10 for great story, amazing opening music, fun characters, an amazing Jango Fett game that kind of wish they did a definitive version or a remake of, or I'm hoping they do something for in the future like it. But the gameplay is just a pain in the ass. The bugs that happen in the game are annoying as hell, and the just some of the gameplay is just bullshit. But the weapons are cool. Again, the story is really cool. The characters are awesome. It's not that bad, but it's also never going to be my favorite Star Wars game because of how hard it is and how impossible it feels to ever complete the game. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the little notification bell for more of our content. Have a great night, guys.